Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Emiriki Stitches. Please, if you're yet to subscribe, please don't fail to click on the notification button, and please don't fail to subscribe. Thank you for the support for those that have subscribed already. Today I'm going to illustrate on how to make a tube, an off shoulder tube. So, and this is going to be like an half top, like let me say a crop top, tube crop top. So I'm going to use brown paper for the illustration, and these are the parameters I'm going to use. The half length, that's from your upper bust to your navel, then the bust, the under bust circumference, the upper bust itself, that's the round circumference of the upper bust, then the round shoulder itself, and the shape. So we're going to set to work now. My client doesn't want it deep, and this time we're going to use a sweetheart neck for this. So I'm going to start. I start by folding the fabric as you've seen. I'm going to use the parameter that is higher, which is what, the bust. I'm going to fold it according to my bust. So my bust is 34, and you as you all know, 34 down divided by 4, we have 8/2, and the 8/2 I'm going to add 4 inches for seam allowance. So I'm folding it with 12/2. This is the 8/2. This is the 8/2. Then I'm going to add 4 inches allowance. This is 3, it's not up to 4, so I'm going to push it in to have my 4 inches for seam allowance. I'll tell you the reason we are putting the 4 inches. Some might say it's too wide, some will decide to put 2, then put 2 thereafter. But in this case, you're taking everything at the same time. That's the 8/2, which is for the bust. Then we now add 4 inches. Okay, allowance as you've seen. So you're going to start by offing it. Like now, my client doesn't want very deep, so it depends on what you want. You can off by 5, you can off by 6, but yeah, I'm using 4. I'm going to off this thing by 4, off my measurement by 4. Take the tape out to have the off shoulder. So I'm going to mark the full length, which is what, 16. Then I'll put 1 inch for seam allowance, off it by 4, 16. Then this for the allowance, still the same. I'm going to connect the lines. Sorry, this is pattern, but you can still place it directly on your fabric to cut. Still the same thing. In absence of fabric, that's why I'm using the paper, brown paper you saw me using. So there's it. Then you still off all your measurements you're taking. You're going to off them by 4. So you're going to still off to take your the bust, under bust. The under bust here is 12/2. Still going to mark it out. This is the line of the under bust. Then, like I've always been saying, you subtract 3. Those some people use 4, but in my own case, I'll subtract 3 to have my nipple point. Now, but you can still place your measurement from your shoulder to your nipple point to mark it. So yeah, I will have, if I subtract 3 from 12/2, I will have 9/2. I'm still going to draw the lines out, mark them out, then draw them out so they will be visible enough. So we now have our nipple point line, we have the bust point line, we have the under bust point line, we have the half length and the allowance. So we're going to mark out our shoulder here, or you can use, apart from the shoulder, you can use your upper bust circumference up here. Your upper bust circumference here is 34. Now 34 divided by 4, we have 8.5. I'm going to mark the 8.5 here. Now off it, still offing it by 4, mark my armhole, which is 7.5. Now connect it. That's for the armhole. Then I'll start inserting my parameters here on the line of the bust line. I'll mark out my bust, which is 34. We have 8.5. Then I'll still put the allowance of 4 inches, like I said. Then I'll mark my under bust here, which is 28. 28 divided by 4. My under bust circumference is 28. Sorry, it's not here, but it's 28. I'll now 28 divided by 4, we have 7. Then I'll add my 4 inches allowance. I'll still do same to the shape. On my half length line, I'll mark out the shape. Shape here is 30. 30 divided by 4, we have 7.5. Then we still add allowance of 4 inches. So we'll now connect the lines taken from the armhole, and this is what we'll have. This is the original line shape, while this is the allowance. Now the reason why we put the allowance is that we're not bringing in some cuts. You see people bringing out one to turn it and place on the other, which we still teach that method. I'll still illustrate that method some other time, so that you can, anyone that is easy for you to use, you can use it. But in this one, I'm going to bring out everything on the same fabric, bringing out everything, both the center and the sides on the same fabric. So the nipple to nipple point of my client here is 7. So I'm going to take 8, that is 4 inches. 4, I'm marking out for 4 inches. I'll add half, that is 7, but I'm taking 8. I'll add half inches to make it 4. So 7 divided by 2, we have 3.5. So if I add half to it, it will now become 8. That's 4. 4 plus 4, 8. So we now have 8. That's the first line. On this 4 inches line, don't forget this is where we have our nipple. Everything starts and we're meeting at this point. So I'm going to take here half, I'm going to slant here half, mark out my half inch here. Then on this other side, my right side, I'm going to, on the left side I'll take half, on my right side I'll use 1 inch. So I'll first of all connect those lines to meet my nipple point here. Still do same here. Now I'll carve out my and I'll take it down by one half down here. Or 1/4, sorry. This is how it comes. 1/4. And that's how it will. While I do same here too. I'll still take it down by half. So it will return back to the 3/2 we have. As you can see, we have our, if you exempt here and exempt here, you now have our the sides This is for the center and this is for the sides. So before cutting, I will now bring out the neckline, which I said is the sweetheart neck. So I will dip it. It depends on how deep you want it to be, but here my client don't want it really that deep, so I'm going to use 6/2, and the 6/2 I'll just bring it out like this and connect. We're going to cut it now so you can all see what we will have. This is only for the front bodies. I'll stop because I'm going to cut here first out before cutting everything out. Depends on how deep you want your neckline to be. You can drop it more than the 6/2. You can take it up to 8. It's your choice. This is what we have. This is for the center bodies and this is for the sides. Please don't forget to notch this point, this line point that you've seen. You notch them so that as you're sewing it you won't have issues. You're going to notch them. This is for the front bodies. So to notch them, you hold them together, notch it. You do same to this one as well. They all carry the notch signs. This for the front bodies, and we're going to step in to cut the back bodies now. This for the front bodies, for the tube. Can you see? I place it on my body on top of the narrow. It depends on how you want it. This is the center and this is for the sides. You pad it. If you're using your warden, you use your warden to pad. You can use your cloth gum also to pad, any of your choice. And after the padding, if you wish also, you can put the ready-made breast cup so that it can bring out the breast cup fitting very well. So I'm going to set out to do the back bodies now. We are done with the front bodies. I'm going to cut the back bodies. The back bodies, you do same thing you did for the front, but before then you're going to put your zipper allowance, which is 1/2 inch, 1/2. If you're turning it with lining, it's advisable you use 1/2 so that after turning the half with lining, the one would be left for you to use for your zip. And you still off it. You take your round this thing, this time you can use shoulder. The other side we use the upper bust circumference because of the lace we cut out. You notice we remove something up and down so we could have the breast cut. So this one you can decide to use only your shoulder measurement, which is here in my client's is just 14, and 14 divided by 2 you have 7. You off it and still take your 7/2 for the armhole. You draw it out, the armhole out, then you mark out your the half length and this thing. The half length here is the full length here because it's stopping at the navel 16. Then you add your 1 inch allowance to make it 17. 16, 17, 16, 17. Use your ruler to draw it out. Then you mark out your bust line, which is 9/2, and the nipple point, which is what, 12/2. The same parameters you inserted in the front, you use same for the back. The only difference is that you won't do that breast cut again. So like I said, with the measurement we use, you insert your breast, which is what, you take 8/2. You see it's not up to 4 inches. You can put your 3/2. After joining you can cut, but the back I would advise you use 2 inches. There's no need of you putting up to 4 inches. The 4 inches you put in front because of the breast cut. So the shape here was 37/2, and you put your 2 inches. Please don't go up to 4 except the person is fat. Maintain your 2 inches. Then this thing here is 28. The underbust circumference is 28, which is 7. Still go with your 2 inches allowance. Now connect the lines. If the person is chubby, you can decide to use the 4, but if it's not, you maintain the 2 inches allowance, or you can use up to 3. Be on the safer side. Then you insert the dart. The dart here too is going to be 4 inches too, like what you did for the front bodies. 4. Still mark out 4. And you connect the lines. And you do same thing you did for the front down here. Bring out your dart, your 1 inch, take here 1/2 inch. You can decide to take. And you connect. The dart for the back is not the same for the front. Like you've seen, I didn't really bring out much this thing like what happened in the front. Yeah, I just took half. I just took like quarter here Same thing here, except here there is up to 1. So it's not something big because we don't want to bring out in such a way, but you can still allow it and maintain this face line. Then you hold it this way when joining it. It depends on your choice. You can still bring it out the way I've shown you now. So you're going to still off by 4, then and take how deep you want the back to be. You can decide to take 8, you can decide to take 7, but in this case I will just take 7. Now connect it. I'm going to cut it now, starting from the neckline. There are so many ways you can use in bringing out this sweater. You can also decide to make it this way, to take it like from here to here. You take it like this. It depends on, you see what I'm doing. Then you take it slant. Same thing here. Then you take it slant down. It depends on your choice. So anyone that fits you best. That is to say, you have a dart that is like this. This is the center. Then you take it this way. You now take it again this way, and then it comes out like a prism or maybe even a diamond. It's your choice. You now have this for the back bodies. Please don't forget to open up your zipper allowance, and also don't forget to take your back length. You can shape your back length. You take the person's measurement from the shoulder to where you have the gutter behind. You see where you have deep the distance behind the person's back. That's where the back length stops, so you won't have issues when you're fixing your zip. But if you don't want to use that, you can as well come in here a little bit by maybe half, where you have this your half length. You can come in here while bringing the zipper allowance. You can come in here by half, then you take it again out. You're not taking the half here, so you can still fix the zip this way, so you won't have the puffy looks you've been having, to minimize those puffy looks when fixing the zip. This is for the back bodies. As you can see, it came out like 4. You join this to this and this to this. That's for the back bodies. This is for the front body. These are the 2 sides. So you join them the way I've just, you bring them out and you're using your lining like these 2, and you sew all of them, turn the neck. You can bring out an interfacing too for this, for the front body. So you turn them. That's all we have for today's video. Thank you very much. Hope you learned something. Please don't fail to subscribe.